so today I am making a super refreshing Osmanthus jelly, and you guys have probably seen this in the dim sum carts. They're usually like clear blocks of jelly. It's a little bit yellow, and you can see like little bits of flowers and also red goji berries in there, and it's super florally, it's super refreshing, which I think sometimes is necessary because dim sum has a tendency to be on the heavier side. And what's cool about this is I'm going to be using konnyaku jelly this time, which is that Japanese purple yam starch, and so the texture is going to be a little bit different. And then at the same time, the osmanthus flowers are going to add a florally touch as well as some like kind of peachy apricot tones. So I think that you guys are gonna really enjoy this recipe. So let's head over to the kitchen and then let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start off by bringing 4 cups of water to a boil, and then to that I'm going to add in actually 1 packet of this konnyaku jelly. And konnyaku jelly is konjac jelly, and it's derived from basically like a Japanese yam. It's Japanese yam starch, and it kind of has a different texture and consistency, so we'll mention that a little bit later. And I actually had to boil this guy for just about 8 minutes because it started kind of clumping up. Maybe I had waited too long to stir it because I was taking pictures, and that might definitely have been the case, but just make sure that everything is dissolved. And afterwards I turned the heat off and I added 2 tablespoons of the osmanthus flowers. They were dried, and then about 2 tablespoons of these goji berries, and I just didn't want to subject them to too much heat, but I'm going to let these guys stay here for about like 5 to 6 minutes just so that all of the good flavors come out. I'm also going to be sweetening this with a little bit of stevia. Now if you're using regular sugar, I would recommend about a 1/4 cup, 4 to 6 tablespoons actually, depending on how sweet you like it. Usually we'll flavor it with rock sugar, or if you do eat honey, this is a really good recipe for it because the honey adds to the floralness. But if you don't eat honey, you know, feel free to just use sugar, or I'm actually using a little bit of stevia, just trying to cut down on sugar whenever I can. For those of you guys who haven't had osmanthus flowers before, it actually has a nice like kind of apricot-y flavor, and then the goji berries are, well, they're really high in antioxidants, and I think it's a little bit herbally. It's kind of like dried raisins, but with the sweetener, everything just turns out super florally and super nice, so you don't really have to worry too much about that. So after about 5 to 6 minutes, need to turn that exposure down. You're just gonna pour it into a container, and then that is where it's going to sit. You wanna let it cool for a little bit, put some plastic wrap around it, and then stick it into the refrigerator for like 4 to 5 hours or overnight so that everything firms up, like so. I just find this super pretty because like of the red goji berries, and then you have the little sprinkling of the osmanthus flowers. It's a very pretty jelly to eat. So I actually ran the whole thing under hot water first, and now I'm just using an offset spatula because it's nice and straight and it's not going to mess up the sides, and I'm just running it all around just so that it will probably release from this container. Ugh. Yeah, that came out, I don't know, earlier than I thought it would. Anyways, you can see how the flowers have also like kind of collected to the bottom. There's a little bit on the top, there's a little bit on the bottom, so it's a nice mix like that. So now I'm just cutting it, and I like to cut these into big chunks because I like to display the flowers and I like to display the goji berries. So I do want people to see it as opposed to, you know, chopping it up into little cubes. I just wanted to show you guys this. I'm not sure if I should be holding jelly like this, but it's just very cool looking, and it's such an amazing piece, and also like super refreshing as well. Like imagine having, you know, dim sum early in the morning, having it be a little bit heavy, and then having this afterwards. It's just going to be, you know, very cooling. It's going to be very nice. Now, I know that I told you guys I would mention the texture of konnyaku to you guys. So if you've ever had agar before, and this recipe can be substituted with agar, and I'll put that link down below, but konnyaku jelly is really a cross between agar and a little bit of gelatin. I would say it's like 75% agar and like 25% gelatin, because it does have that springiness to it, like that jiggliness that gelatin has, but it also has that crunch that agar has when it solidifies. So if you guys know what that means, if you've had agar before, you'll know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this refreshing recipe. I was definitely very excited to use the konnyaku powder just because it was a little bit different and to change it up a little bit. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!